From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big early morning here on Mornings LA with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people under the first stimulus recon, mostly application-based. And if you pounced as a purple hawk under third stimulus, boy, you're going to clean up under fourth stimulus. Then we cut to the breaking news. The voting path is getting easier and breezier across the board. The final 15 minutes of the video will go over that and the big shocker that came out of nowhere yesterday, as one of your biggest items on this channel is going through the roof with a massive lift of 25%. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. Big, exciting, great news. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which raise your benefits up lifetime. And then we turn to the viewers who are getting money for rent, utilities, food, and internet. And guess what? They're not getting $20,000 anymore. They're not getting $50,000. You'll meet Lorraine, who got over $105,000 from this channel. It starts right now, and it starts on Early Mornings LALATE. Good early morning, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day across the board. Hope the weather is good where you are. It got muggy here again yesterday. It was like Javita Lake with too many scarves on. It was just too damn hot. Hope the weather is good where you are. In this recording, we're going to go over that monthly fourth stimulus check. But first, jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuned in from and how this weather is. In this fourth stimulus check update, we're going to go over why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we got to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. And they're mostly application-based. And if you pounce under third stimulus, you're going to really clean up under fourth stimulus. Then we cut to the final 15 minutes of this video, where the voting process is going to be easier, breezier than initially anticipated. And incredible great news, as one of the biggest payouts of this channel is going up automatically by nearly 25%. Wow, that's in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay at the very end. But then we turn to fifth stimulus as well. That raises your benefits up lifetime. And then finally, we're going to turn to the big money for rent, utilities, food, and internet that people are getting from third stimulus. And you had seen people getting $27,000. Then you saw viewers getting even more sums of money. You saw as Mark got $51,000. But in this video, going to meet Lorraine, who got $105,000 from this channel. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, like right now. Well, not right now, but a little bit from now. And then taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, which is live on air. And this video will automatically take you there. You don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. And then I'm live on air at 9 a.m. with Mornings LA, 9:30 a.m., 9:45 a.m. with Mornings Crypto, and 11 a.m. with Noontime. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video. 3,000 likes. Every like helps. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. And thank you for the incredible, great big Monday we had yesterday. Monday's Mornings LA was our most watched show in its first 2 hours in perhaps ever. It was just insane. And then Overnight's Crypto yesterday was our most watched Overnight's Crypto ever, going up 200% in viewership since the day before. Wow. Let's cut to those monthly stimulus checks right now. House, Senate, Senate, House, both monthly, different number of checks and different payout of checks. Let's go over everything you need to know starting right now. When you look at the House, it's pandemic plus 1 year. That means that it would pay pandemic plus 1 year. Senate is July to December. House is $1,000 a month after the first month. Excuse me, House is $1,000 a month after the first month, but Senate is unknown. Word on the street is the Senate would pay you this. Wow, deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. When you look at the House bill, pandemic plus 1 year, everything is really coming to shape and form. Why? Well, today is day 2 in New York City, where you're required to have a vaccination card to go to a gym indoors or go to a restaurant indoors. And this could signal where we're heading. Certainly the pandemic's not over. That means that the House bill would pay more than 12 checks, which would be more than 1 year of checks, which would amount to more than $13,000 from that House bill. Compare that to this and the Senate. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now and vote House of Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that if you got a third stimulus check, you get a fourth. Single individuals, 75,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. It's not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check will be the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents and everyone else. And the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the Dodgers game tonight and you see the stadium going into a wave and you stand up, hey, and then you sit down, and then suddenly there's a check next to you. Hey, Mr. Check, you didn't do this to Dodger wave. What's wrong with you? A road check? No, it's not a road check, just not a waivable check. And may also be a Giants fan. Can we top that? Yes. In the second half of this video, we cut to the fourth stimulus recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. This is the single biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. But most of the money is application based. So if you've been getting money under third stimulus and pouncing as a purple hawk, boy, you're going to do great under fourth stimulus. I have all the details coming up in the second half of this video. In the third part of this video, we go over the big news, as the process will be sooner and easier, breezier than initially thought. And the huge news overnight, as one of the most beloved programs covered on this channel that is giving you money, is going to add an additional 25% on top of it. Lifetime. What is this? It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay to the very end, and we'll be going over fifth stimulus as well. But first, let's get some money. Get a pen and paper ready, because I'm going to go over some money for rent, utilities, food, internet, and more starting right now. When we talk about rent, we initially thought 4 to 6 months of rent. Now viewers are getting several years of rent, and we thought that maybe it was $5,000 of rent. Well, we were wrong. How much is the rent that viewers are getting? Are you ready? Purple Hawk members, Calcino VIPs, or Purple Powers are now getting upwards of $27,000 for rent. Wow. Elizabeth, as a Purple Hawk, cleaning up. Mark got $25,000 for rent. He told his neighbor that LALATE, he's the real deal. Go watch him. And that neighbor went from nothing to $20,000 of rent paid out in just a few days. Nancy got $24,000 of rent. Richard, $22,000. And Nisi, $20,000. If you've had a success story, send it to me on social media. Barb's sent me a beautiful message on Facebook overnight. She got money for utilities. Gonzalez in California reveals to me on Facebook as well, private messaging. He got $8,000 for rent. If you have a success story, send it to me on private message, social media at LALATE. So here's some of the other stories I've been told. Pamela reports to me she got $12,000 for rent. Congratulations. Carla tells me she got money for utilities and SNAP. Tiffany tells me she got SNAP, utilities, and $13,000 for rent. Randy tells me he got utilities and $6,000 for rent. Jennifer tells me she got lights, SNAP, and $5,000 for rent. And Cecilia tells me she got $1,200 for HEAP. That's a heap. Well, how much in utilities can you get? Are you ready to see this one? Bam. Whoa. Nancy got $7,000 for utilities. There's Nancy again. And there's Mark again. He got $6,500. Wow, they got two items, those two. And there's Angela, $5,000. So then we turn to SNAP. SNAP is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Do you think Nancy got the third one as well? Let's see this deliciousness. Bam. There's Nancy. She got a third one as well. Louis, my goodness, Louis, $18,000. Deliciousness. John, $10,000 to $12,000 for SNAP. And so let's look at the people who got three items from this channel: rent, utilities, and SNAP. The Triple Crown winners. Here are those Triple Crown winners. Let's hear the drum roll. Oh my goodness, Nancy, $32,000 for three items. Nisi, $23,000 for three items. And Mark, $32,000 for two items? Two items. This is a graphic about three items. Mark, how did you slip onto this graphic about three items? There's about three items. You're at two items. How did you get on there? Let me tell you what went on. Mark got two items, and then over 7 days, I said to Mark on air, I said, Mark, why did you not get SNAP, the third item? It's a SNAP. That's why they call it SNAP. It's sort of easy. Go get it. And he did. In just a few days, he went out and got Snap. And I said, get 8,000 because I love the number 40,000. It has all these zeros in it. I just love a check with a lot of zeros in it. Well, how much do you think he got for Snap? How much do you think Mark got for Snap? 5,000, 4,000? Maybe he got the 8,000. Well, he got a lot more than $8,000. Mark came in at a massive payout of Snap within just days of me telling him to go get it of $19,000 annualized, bringing his grand total to over $50,000, and this is LALATE. This is what we've been doing since day one, and we're doing it still today. In April of last year, I launched this channel because people's EIDL loan applications were stuck. They applied on March 30th, March 31st, or 4/8, and became what I call the 330, 331, or 4/8 vortex viewers. If you remember that and you're an OG, jump in the live chat. I had to figure out how to get their applications approved, unlocked out of the vortex, and on camera I did that for weeks, working on their application. Off camera I did as well, answering their private messages and trying to get them approved, getting 10 applications a day at one point at $150,000 a pop. $25 million of EIDL loans I got for viewers, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. Then in 2020 we were waiting for second stimulus checks to come, $600 not coming. So I focused on getting people to apply for rent, and Tyrone, his family 4 out of Boston, at a time in December where it was hard to get rent in Boston, he got it. $15,000 for rent, he killed it. But since I launched Purple Hawks in January, you have been killing it. Get a pen, paper ready, because I'm going to show you the big monies across the board. But first, if you thought that $5,000 was not the high end, if you thought maybe $20,000 or $30,000 was not the high end, and then you saw Mark at $50,500. Well, today I introduce you to someone who blew it out of the ballpark, went even higher than Mark. I introduce you to Lorraine, who got $105,000. $640 for rent for several use, food, and additional sums of money by being a Purple Hawk and watching and understanding how you get this money. And today is your day to be the next Lorraine. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to get some big money starting right now. We're going to reach out to 6 different places with different eligibility. Here are some introductory remarks for you across the board. First, I'm going to show you 6 places. If you reach out to one and it says no, reach out to the next. They each have their own eligibility. It's all different. Number 2, they have their own pots of money. So keep on reaching out. If you get a no, reach out to the next. Number 3, every state is paying money. There's not a single state that's not paying money. Number 4, listen to the keywords I mentioned in this video. It really helps people get approved. And number 5, don't insert in your own mind your own disqualification scenarios. Not true. They don't pay rent unless you're wearing a purple shirt and standing in front of a surfboard. Untrue. But the surfboard always helps. All right, you ready? Get that pen and paper and let's go over all the details. You're going to get 6 places to reach out to. Here you go. Your city hall, your city house authority. Your county hall, your county house authority. Your state hall, your state house authority. Those are the 6 places you reach out to. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. Very simple. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Mitch's wonderful, charming personality. They don't know that. And congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful pot of money. Remember, use those keywords and reach out to the money. Someone sent me a private message overnight saying, I'm in Pennsylvania. Where do I get money? Watch the video. You got to reach out to the different places and make the phone call. And you'll get it. You're going to do it. And if you got money for rent or utilities, post in the live chat right now. Let's cut to now. Snap. Snap isn't snap. Snap is a snap. Louis got $18,000 from Market. Mark got $19,000. Linglen got it for her son, herself, and her mom. And Gail got as well. What is SNAP? It's money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. How much does it pay? A lot. A family 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year now. Why so much money? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15%. So go get that SNAP, and we're killing it, and you're killing it. If you got SNAP, post in the live chat right now. We're only 14 minutes of this video, and we've gotten $27,000 for rent. $19,000 for utilities for SNAP, and $9,000 for utilities, and we're just getting started. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your states due to overpayment of computer error of unemployment benefits. Where are they landing? Direct deposit. Can you track it? Yeah, contact your state and say, hi, state, I'd like to track that check due to computer error. And when you do it, can you turn on the computer? Oh, sure, I'll do that right away. Circle around one more time. Was that Sir Loin answering the phone? And then can we top that? Yes, as we go to the wonderful refund check coming back from IRS. As the state check, one viewer got 3,000, another viewer got 5,000. As the federal check, Margaret got it, Michael got it, Cog got it as well. And guess what? It's a waivable check. I know that hurts your ears, Mitch. You don't want to hear those words, waivable check, Mitch, but there you go. There's a new wave every week. IRS confirms average payout about $1,200 to $1,400. If you're in the live chat, please jump in there and post your success stories, because when you do, you help other people. I launched this channel to help other people get sums of money. And when you post your success story, you're helping other people as well. Why? You've seen the sort of the massive turnaround as people now realize, wait a second, I need to put that donut down. I need to pick up the phone and call and get that rent. I should have my rent being paid. No more sitting in the lounge chair watching my donut get soggy. Because guess what? There are people in the live chat right next to me. They're getting massive payments of rent. I should be getting that for myself as well. So you're inspiring people. Number two, people don't know these things exist until they see you getting it. And then they realize, wait a second, all these people are getting this money. Why am I not getting it? And then they don't realize some things even exist. A lot of people have never heard of Snap until they found this channel. Larry Maui never heard of it. He got $500 a month lifetime because he watched as a viewer of this channel. And then we have the wonderful Nisi and the wonderful Art Sullivan, who got 3 items from this channel. They got 3 items, rent, utilities, and Snap, and they inspired Nancy to get 3 items. They inspired Mark to get 3 items. And then Mark inspired other people to say, hey, go bigger and bolder. You can keep on doing this and getting bigger and bolder. And that's where Lorraine came in and went even higher. Let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Where they landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it'll work. It'll reveal the tax return you paid and the taxes you paid, the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid, and 70% of the time it'll reveal stuff you really wish you had never seen. Like it'll reveal when Mitch cooks lobster, does he serve it with $12 ice cream? Ugh, awful. And then it'll reveal the refund check you're getting from IRS. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of your forced stimulus check update 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the forced stimulus recon. Now, this is huge. Why is this so important? Because the first stimulus recon, not so big. Second stimulus recon, not so big. Third, really small. They're small. They're like Marco Rubio small. They're really small stimulus packages. And 90% of them were all consumed for corporate America stimulus, leaving you crumbs. This stimulus package, enormous. $3.5 trillion of checks, far more than enough room to put a stimulus check in there. But the vast majority of other stuff in there is application based. So if you're pouncing as a Purple Hawk on third stimulus and winning, you're going to really clean up under forced stimulus. So let's go over all the details you need to know about forced stimulus starting right now. There originally was roads and bridges in the recon. They took it out and put in bipartisan, and now they're both passable. A conservative publication confirms my reporting days ago that says the higher the price tag was in the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go, confirmation. By allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon and put in the bipartisan, it made the overall price tag of the recon smaller. There you go. In other words, the bipartisan made the recon passable, and vice versa. It's important to remember that the president says you must put on my desk in the White House to sign both the recon and the bipartisan at the same time. You can't just put one, I won't sign it. Well, how do they do this? Here's something you're only going to hear on this channel, that the House Democrats were part of the discussion about the price tag of $3.5 trillion far before they started even the voting process. So when this recon lands in the House, it's a no-brainer because they already agreed upon this price before they started. And that's why Representative Richie Torres originally said we have to have a larger recon. You got it, $3.5 trillion, done, passed. And Representative Ilhan Omar says we have to have a recon that goes as far as we want it. You got it, done, passed, $3.5 trillion. Well, the progressives were told to protect the recon because everything in there is checks for you and checks for the American people. And that's what Brian Schatz and Jalapal says, which is the White House told them. The progressive priorities in the recon are the White House's priorities. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? Details you're never going to see anywhere else except right here, and it starts right now. It's important to know the differences of the two items because, again, the president said they both have to land on his desk, not just one. So let's go over first what is a recon and what is a bipartisan. Two different things and two different bodies of legislation. Your recon is your money. Recon is your money. It is also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill. Price tag $3.5 trillion. A lot of people use the word spending when they refer to it. The Democratic spending plan, the progressive welfare spending plan, because it's spending of checks on you. All checks for you. Recon. Number 2, bipartisan, not your money. This is roads and bridges, not you. Also called infrastructure, price tag 1.5 trillion. Okay, that's pretty simple. So we got 3 bodies of legislation to do. We got to do bipartisan, we got to do recon procedural, and after that we do recon substantive. What's the difference now then about recon procedural versus recon substantive? Recon procedural is very basic. It's very simple. It only asks 2 very introductory questions. Number 1, do you agree to do a recon with a price tag of 3.5 trillion at a later date? I do. And you agree that of that money, we're going to give $10 to committee number 1 and $20 to committee number 2 in the Congress? I do. That's all it says. What's the total price tag and what committee is going to get what dollar sum of money for a future bill that they're writing? That's all it does. Once recon procedural gets passed and those committees are given the sums of money, then with $10 in their hand, the committee has to determine how to spend the money. How is this committee going to spend the money? On whom? On which citizens? How? To what duration? What eligibility? And things like that. And that's what becomes the recon substantive bill. And who writes it? The subcommittees of the House. Under the Constitution, different subcommittees delegate different subject matters. So, for example, House Ways and Means writes stimulus checks on unemployment benefits. When each of those subcommittees are done, they combine their pages. Let's say it's 10 subcommittees and 10 pages. Set it up to Chuck Schumer. He puts a big S on it for Schumer. No, for Senate. But later in this video, in the final 15, we're going to learn that maybe it'll have an H on it. For House, yes. Wow, how do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal, who wrote Schumer a letter recently saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. And that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of the 100-plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to put monthly 4th stimulus checks in the 4th stimulus package. Wow, Purple Power. You got to keep these people their promise. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently also wrote the president a letter saying when we write 4th stimulus recon, we're putting monthly 4th stimulus checks in there. Yes. But again, Purple Power, you got to keep these people to their promise. And then can we top that? We can. As Biden did it 7 weeks ago, he went overseas to sign a ceremonial signature. The real signature was days ago. It's for the global minimum corporate tax rate. Great news for us because it's not in the recon. 1, makes it easier to write the recon because it's not in there. Easier to call the vote. Easier to vote on the recon. Easier to pass the recon because it's not in there. And can we top that? We can. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, the breaking news as one of the most beloved things covered on this channel, it's getting increased for you 25% lifetime. What? Yes, I had to read it 3 times when I looked at it. So my eyes just popped down my socket when I saw it. It's incredible great news. Then we cut over the voting process of the 4th stimulus recon. Then we cut to 5th stimulus. But first, money and the volunteers. I encourage you to make sure you try to get one of the items on the 3rd stimulus yourself. I want you to develop this skill set to get an item under 3rd stimulus. I don't care if it's $200 for a utility bill. If you get that one item yourself, then you know you've developed the skill set by watching this video and learning from this channel about how to get money under 3rd stimulus. Because when 4th stimulus becomes law, you'll have the skill then to pounce and get even bigger sums of money. After you got that first sum of money from 3rd stimulus, if you're having problems still getting the other sums of money, let's say rent or utilities, reach out to the volunteers. Open the description of this video. Go down the description till you find a link to the community page. It's news.lalate.com/community. It'll send you to the volunteers who are separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Reach out to them, and they'll help you get that big sum of money. And I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as the excitement starts and continues with the final 15 minutes on Early Mornings LA. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LALATE. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering and the coffee is brewing. And I'm here, you're here on a big Tuesday morning. How are you? It's a great day across the board, and we're going to have a big week of breaking news, so stay with me across the board. Thank you for making yesterday's Mornings LALATE and Overnight's Crypto two of our most watched shows ever in those time slots. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible and growing family. Next up, 1 million. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. This video will automatically take you there. You don't have to do anything. And then I'll see you at 9 a.m. with Mornings LALATE. The President of the United States, when running for the highest office in the land, promised you that he was going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not deliver that, so now the Democrats are taking care of this in what's called SSI reform, fifth stimulus. This starts in September, starts legislating. They represent it'll be done by about November. Hit your bank account by November, and then the benchmark being applied in December for next year's benefits. How does this work? Step one is they're going to raise your benefit limits up. They're going to remove the asset limits at inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. How does this work? Let's go over all the incredible, great details starting right now. First step, they'll raise your benefits up. Who's you? You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation, replacing COLA, which is promising a 6% increase next year. That doesn't cut it. That's not enough. Inflation is going to be great. It's going to be transitory in December. What does that mean? A temporary spike. How high? I'm reporting maybe about 5%. Yes. So how does this work? First, your benefits will go up. Then they'll apply a benchmark. That'll raise your benefits up another percentage. How much? Let's say it's 5%. Your benefits will go up not just 5% next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and also have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to end. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your wedding. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear loss of benefits. And that's fifth stimulus. Now, will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. Those Democratic House Ways and Means members represent. It'll be next year. Finally, if you're on the live chat and you do not have a Purple Hawk next to your name, you need to get one. How do you become a Purple Hawk? The link is under the video where it says join as a member now. When you join as a member, I deliver daily to you via the YouTube community page breakdown all the big money that's available under second stimulus, third stimulus, and proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. Because as a Purple Hawk, you pounce and get the big sums of money, and you learn that the big sums of money in these stimulus packages are not anything but application-based. Second stimulus, $600 stimulus check. I said don't focus on the $600 stimulus check. It'll land. You need more than $600 in December, and that's what Tyrone did. He applied as a Purple Hawk and got, oh, not as a Purple Hawk. We didn't have it then. He applied in December and got $15,000 for rent. In January, I launched Purple Hawks, and now, as of January, I said to viewers, don't be focused on a $1,400 stimulus check. It's going to come $1,400. Focus on the $14,000 I can get you for rent, utilities, food, and internet under third stimulus. And guess what? Viewers are getting a lot more. Members are now getting massive sums of money because they realize, as a Purple Hawk, they can do it. They can pick up the phone. They can make the call. They can go on the website. They can apply. They can push and get these massive sums of money because they have the capacity. They've learned and they have watched the videos and have now taken those skill sets to become a Purple Hawk and pounce and get these massive sums of money. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk or Purple Power or Calcino VIP member today. And with that, it brings us into the fourth stimulus recon Final 15 minutes starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. First one was this one. Second stimulus was this one. Third was this one. Fourth is this one. Far more than enough room to put a stimulus check in the fourth stimulus recon. But in addition to that, most of the other checks will be application-based. Here's what you need to know, is that most stimulus packages have always been application-based, and that has always been where the biggest sums of money have been on this channel. In April of last year, I launched this channel because people had applied for the EIDL loan that was upwards of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. They were not getting their money. And I went on air, started making videos to explain to people how that for people who applied, they need to do things to change certain things to get approved. And doing their applications off air and getting them approved. Doing 10 a day upwards approval, 150,000 a pop at one point. Then, just days later, I heard in California here on April 25th that on April 29th, they were going to launch, or in some states, April 28th, they were going to launch a new program no one had ever heard of under first stimulus. It was called PUA. Now, you know about now, but no one knew about then, and no one knew how to apply for it. No one knew that you apply for unemployment benefits first and get disqualified before applying to PUA, that you'd first have to be ineligible for UI before applying to PUA. It was all application-based videos showing you how to get this sum of money. And I got viewers like, I think her name was Elizabeth. Elizabeth out of Florida. $15,000. Getting people massive sums of money. Then PPP, showing people how to do the application for PPP and getting their money approved. Along the way, somewhere around spring of this year when third stimulus was coming out, some of us started to become a little bit too relaxed to the notion of automatic stimulus. It just sort of appears in your hand and you never have to pick up a phone or apply for anything. That was never how any of these stimulus packages happened. And that is why I'm so excited for you, because under fourth stimulus, most of the big monies in there are application-based. And while we don't have the whole bill yet, we have proposals of some of the monies in there. It's all checks for you, all different walks of life. And I love how the Purple Hawks have been responding. Some are saying, how do I get that dental money? It's not a law yet. And then you say, how do I get the internet? Not with the person who's doing the teeth. They sort of don't. Yeah, you don't want someone who's doing the internet for you doing your teeth as well. So here we go. Here are some of the monies that are getting paid under fourth stimulus. Free school meals for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for free internet, checks for farming, and then lots of checks for workers and checks for seniors. Checks for workers like independent contractors, like unions, like collective bargaining, and lots of checks for seniors, like Medicare expansion, like hearing checks, vision checks, dental checks, and lowering eligibility. All right, let's cut over now to the voting process. Early in this video, I explained to you that last week they passed the fourth stimulus recon procedural in the House. Now in the Senate. Now they go to the House. It's an easy vote. It's like a blink of the eye and you're done. Why? Because they already agreed upon the price before they started this whole process. So this is a no-brainer. Then they go into recon substantive. We have some details about the dates, and they're happening faster and easier, breezier than initially thought. Here are the dates, and if you see an asterisk, it's proposed, it's not firm. So we have a firm date for August 23rd of recon procedural being voted on in the House. This is going to pass in a blink of an eye, as it's just explained. Then September 25th, the recon substantive goes for a vote. But where? Proposal now is the House. This is fascinating. I love the House. I'll tell you why. The House Democrats are writing the legislation. I like that. So it should stay in the House. Number two, House Democrats always spend a lot of money. Number three, progressives always spend more money than the Senate moderates do. And finally, I like it starting in the House because the House can give you more money, and then the Senate vote-a-rama could add money on top of that. So I like starting on the House side. Then we have a proposed date of 9/30 for the recon to be finally for a final vote. All right, so then the next question is, well, writing the recon substantive, what do they got to do? They got to decide again how much each committee is going to spend the money on. And this is why I brought back to the mix our social media campaign from 2020. Seats for stimulus. Hashtag seats, the number 4 stimulus. You want to go on social media and tag your elected officials and share these videos and say, hey, you need to do what's right. You need to spend the stimulus the right way. There's 6 House seats up for election in just a few weeks from now, and guess what? They need to be told, you want your seat? Well, you better give us the right stimulus. If you don't, we're taking your seat. Moreover, Democrats could see a total change of balance of power in the House. And the same thing the case with the senators if these seats switch because they did not deliver, or they did deliver, the right stimulus. And finally, Senate seats, those seats are up for grabs next year. Okay, so there you go. You need to push and say to them, hey, make sure you give us the right amount of stimulus. The President of the United States, again, says that you have to give him on the Oval Office two bodies of law, the recon and the bipartisan at the same time, two bodies of law. He's not going to sign one without the other. But yesterday, the president did sign something, and it shocked us all. And this is the breaking news you're hearing for the first time on Early Mornings LA. I'm really excited to deliver you this news. One of the most important and the most beneficial items which I've covered on this channel, which I think I've got to more people more money from than any other program across this channel, perhaps with the exception of maybe EIDL, is SNAP. And SNAP, as you know, is money for food. And as you also know, Trump signed an executive order in December 2020, which increased your SNAP for 15% for 6 months. Then Biden came in and extended it for a few more months, an additional 15%. Well, unbeknownst to most of us, that 15% from Biden expires in September nationally. So what did Biden do? Yesterday, he reached out to the Department of Agriculture and got them to agree to do a new percentage increase. But the only difference is it's not by executive order. It's by agency decree. And so Department of Agriculture has determined that everyone's SNAP benefits will go up starting October 2021. And how much will they go up? An average, not a 15%, but 25% lifetime. Oh my goodness. Yes. Department of Agriculture looked at the situation, much as all the other agencies should as well, and said they were behind the ball. They said you're not getting paid enough money for your food. And so they said you need to be getting a lot more because of cost of living and everything else and inflation. And so raising it 25% for everyone nationwide starting in October. This is a federal law. No state can unravel it. Everyone's benefits are going to come off the 15% and go into the 25%. And this is astronomical. Great news. Thank you for Margaret for that tip-off of that story as well. Finally, let's turn back to forced stimulus. I'm very, very excited for all you because you're doing an incredible, incredible job. Here's what you need to know, is that the big sums of money in these stimulus packages have always been application-based. And if you got one item from third stimulus, if it's $100 for utilities or $400 for electric bill, and you did it yourself by picking up the phone or by going to a website and applying and got approved, then you know how to do this. You know how to do this because guess what? Third stimulus is this big. Fourth stimulus is this big. Can you imagine the money you're going to get under forced stimulus that is mostly application-based when it becomes law? That is why when it becomes law and you pounce as a Purple Hawk and get these big sums of money and people are sitting back holding their donut saying, I'm waiting for my donut, and they're going to look at you saying, how did you get these sums of money? How did you do this? You're just going to smile. Purple Hawks have been part of this channel since January this year, and you see how the numbers have grown quickly. Not in terms of just membership, but in terms of how much money they're getting, going from 3,000 to 5,000 to 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000. Because you're getting a lot more sophisticated. The more you do it, the better you're at doing it. And I'm very excited for you because when we go into forced stimulus, it's going to be a big family. I'm going to be here along the way with you to get all these big sums of money under these forced stimuluses because they're mostly application-based. Finally, a personal message. I value your safety and I value your correct information. And over last year, a lot of YouTube channels have had to deal with external influences in the comment section of a video. Those external influences always look the same. Can you WhatsApp me in a foreign country so I can send you a car with some Bitcoin? Oh. And we try everything we can to block these people, and they come back every 10 seconds. So, about 7 days ago, I came up with the idea to restrict comments and hold them for review until they're approved. And it's worked. So, every video always has thousands and thousands of comments. But now, if you're a member, your comments will likely all approve. And if you're a subscriber, some of your comments will approve. And if you're neither a subscriber nor a member, your comments will never approve. It's also important because I value that you get correct information. I not only value your safety away from these third world people with the strange crypto car deal thing they're doing, but I also value that you get correct information. There's always someone that wants to spur wrong information out of pleasure to themselves. This is what usually happens. There's a member in the live chat who's 60 years old that will say something like, I'm 60 years old, I'm in Tennessee, I'm having problems finding rent, can someone help me? And then someone will slide in the comments before I put these changes in place, who's not a member. I can see they're not a member. I can see they're also not a subscriber. And they'll say, 60-year-olds, there's no money in the country. You have to be 40 years or younger. And some people will read that comment that's 60 years old and actually believe it and then never get the money because of one external influencer who wanted to do nothing but bad things for you, influenced your decision making on not getting money. So those people are gone. And now it's a cleaner, softer environment. And we've seen the big progress, big, wonderful live chats with very nice people. And we're now seeing all the comments that those people are staying away. It's wonderful across the board. Because when forced stimulus becomes law, you're going to pounce. And as a family, people are going to help each other. As I've been seeing you help each other right now. We had one viewer on Early Mornings LA 2 days ago, Mississippi, said, I can't find money in Mississippi. 2 other viewers were in the live chat from Mississippi. Can you imagine? And they said, I'm in Mississippi. I got rent. Here's how you do it. That's what I love. Viewers helping viewers. And that's a true Purple Power spirit. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay with this video. It'll automatically take you to Overnight's Crypto, currently playing on the channel. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay with LALATE for more.